Peace, family. If you've been watching, there's movement going on over in the Sahel region, to be exact, in the Ivory Coast. There's President Katara, who has been ousted um, from his position as president and captured. Right? They thought he was dead. They didn't know what was that because he went missing. But it was his own soldiers who have kept him captive, and you might as well say safe, because the people of the Ivory Coast and the surrounding countries do not appreciate the fact that he underhandedly was helping the U.S. and Europe, a puppet, right? A well-trained slave is what I call them, you know. Um, they were showing different parts of Africa where the young people, they're ready for war. They're ready to, as I said in my earlier video, it's like do or die, and they understand, that now that their eyes have been opened, there's no going back. And if they don't stand for what they believe in, which is their freedom, their right to rule and govern their land by their own choice, that this is the time for them to, put up the fight or walk away. They choose not to walk away. They choose not to cow down. And right now, they are young people on the internet and putting out the word to all the sellouts, presidents and leaders, so-called leaders, over in that region of West Africa, all the way down to South Africa, that the young people have now become synergized in their thinking and in their passion, in their determination to rid white rule. And I applaud it. I mean, wholeheartedly. It's like the party is up. And it's saying, and it's crazy like how even over here in America right now, we're looking at dark forces being called accountable for, some of the wrongs that they have done. The ultimate person I want to see held accountable is the clown that's, with the orange face. I would love to see the day that he is made accountable for all of his crimes. However, in the in the entertainment, there's a lot of things going on. So, I remember Cat Williams saying that this is a time of truth. And when he spoke that, I think it resonated throughout anyone that heard the sound of his voice, that watched the interviews with him and Shannon, and it's also resonating globally that the time of this evil regime of white supremacy, it is dead. It has been only moving or surviving on fumes. And now comes the day that they will either have to submit and humble themselves and live with the rest of the world in a more humane and fair mindset, or be trampled on. Because, a lot of people may think that because the U.S. and the longtime colonizers of Africa, that have the big guns and the big war machines and the ships and all that stuff. I want to remind people that again, God has shown the fight does not go to the big and the brawny, It doesn't go to it's not the size of the dog that wins the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog that wins the fight. And these African young people, those that have been in politics and have been sickened by the betrayal, the lies, the broken promises, by puppets of the European colonizers, it's like there is no more turning the cheek. That goes on over there and it goes on here in America. The time has come. We are at it's not just a physical showdown. This is a spiritual showdown. And right now we are witnessing it in real time. We are living in a time right now where the things that we have read about in great books, of history, even including the Bible and the Holy Quran and all that stuff there, we are living in the time of transition. And we are in the threshold of going from darkness into light. And if you know about thresholds, there's always a struggle. Even when it's a storm, a tornado, you have warm air coming down or cool air coming down and warm air going up, and they do this dance and there's all kind of friction or whatever, and sooner or later something gives. And right now, the power, even in the spiritual realm, is with truth and goodness and righteousness. And it's going to be interesting. We see the young people in towns throughout the West African cities over there, in the towns where they're carrying guns. They have been supplied. Burkina Faso, what's his name? Ibrahim Traore, as well as Mali's president, and what's the other one? Anyway, they're ready. They're ready to go to war, and I do not get excited about war. I do get excited at the fact that the people are speaking up. The lion has awoken. Not only has the lion awoken, their eyes have become clear. They are seeing truth for what it is, and they can now identify the lie and the lies. And right now, we're seeing the beginning of the end of their colonization, the ongoing colonization for 400 years, over 400 years, and hopefully we in America may be seeing some changes very soon also, even in politics within the next 2 to 3 years, because nothing lasts forever. The enemy was not given eternal rule. It was only for a time, and we are dealing with, as it says somewhere, we are dealing with not just with flesh and blood, wars of flesh and blood and bone, but of principalities, and all kind of wickedness in high places, and to some of us, we've been tricked into thinking that, there's no sense of fighting because there's so much on their side. But those that think that way forget that God is in charge. And we are seeing God at work. And there may be a whole lot of bloodshed, but don't let the bloodshed scare you, because it comes with war. It comes with change sometimes. And regardless of if it's a guy with the big powers and the big muscles, and the armored suit and the sword, going up against a kid with just a stone and a slingshot. When God is on that person's side, doesn't matter how big that monster is, God will make sure that the meek or the weak will prevail. All right, till next time, keep watching.